Hi, I'm Alpha Lorraine, and I'm a little bit nervous because this is my first video. I guess not my first video, but the first video I've ever uploaded to YouTube. I've been kind of putting this off, but MOLDAVITE is kind of pushy, and it's been pushing me to do videos. And I thought, since I'm going to try my hand at this video thing, my first video really should be about MOLDAVITE. MOLDAVITE is real bossy and pushy, so it won't let you just not do what it tells you to do. So I've been trying to do this for a minute now, a good little while, but what I decided to do was take notes. So I'm going to be looking down at my notes so I don't start rambling and all that good stuff. But I got into crystals a couple years ago. Bought some basic ones: quartz, citrine, amethyst, black tourmaline, just a few of the basic ones, you know. But I wasn't consistent. I didn't really work with the crystals as I should have. And I just got busy in my life, and I just kind of put it on the back burner. But because of what I do, I'm a letter carrier. So, you know, I always keep my earphones on during the day. And I was actually listening to a video one day, or listening and looking at a video one day of a young lady who normally doesn't talk about crystals or anything. She's more on the metaphysical side, but this particular day she was talking about MOLDAVITE, and she was talking about how transformative it was, how powerful it was, and you know, she was warning people not to get it unless you're truly and honestly ready for some changes in your life. And it kind of resonated with me because I'm kind of at that place now where, you know, I wanted some changes. I want things to be a little bit different. I'm trying to move into, you know, my purpose. My children are older now. I have 4 children. They're older, grown, and I still have one at home. But I have more time now to really focus on me and looking into, you know, what it is that I'm supposed to be doing with the rest of my life. So aside from being a wife and a mother, you know, just kind of moving on and finding my way, my spiritual journey. You know, I was raised Baptist, and you know, when you're from the country, you're raised on biblical principles, which is fine. But you know, I'm not really into that whole Christian traditionalism, and you know, I wanted to kind of find my spiritual path. So anyway, so this young lady mentioned MOLDAVITE, and it sounded good to me. It sounded intriguing, sounded like something I needed to get into. So one thing I want to say about MOLDAVITE before I get into my story, because it really did make a difference in my life. It has done so much, it's done a lot, and it's been a painful journey. And MOLDAVITE is fast acting. I mean, I just want to note some of the things that MOLDAVITE is known for. I'm sure if you got to my video, then at this point you already know, and you've heard where it came from, and you know, the Czech Republic, and how powerful it is, and the color of it, and how to determine whether or not you have a fake piece, and all those good things. So I want to just first, you know, just say some of the things. If you haven't heard these, this is basically what I would say that you can expect from a MOLDAVITE. It is transformative. It is fast acting. I mean, when I say it's fast acting, I mean once you get it in, once you have adjusted to it, once you build a relationship with it, it doesn't take long before it starts like uncovering all the onion layers, and it's not fun. It's not pretty sometimes, but it helps you to deal with any hurt, any pain, any past trauma, suppressed feelings, or situations, and it forces you to deal with you. It forces you to deal with whatever you're suppressing, all of those emotions you may have thought that you tucked away, and you were dealing okay. You've learned to cope, and all of those things. It will bring it up, and it's not fun. And it removes all that bad energy and those negative emotions. And you know, some people like it for astral travel, you know, whatever floats your boat. That's kind of not my purpose for having it. And you know, some people have even gotten like money and manifested money, and you know, that's all good too. You know, we all could use a little extra money, but that's not my core purpose at this point in my life. Right now for me, I'm more interested in, you know, being a better person, you know, being better for my family and my friends and the people around me, and really connecting to my higher self, and ultimately just doing what I was put here to do, you know. And I think I kind of know, but you know, sometimes you need a little push. I tend to be the person that my friends always come to for advice, and you know, I give pretty good advice, and you know, I'm just not judgmental. I just really don't judge people, and I hear what you're saying, and I try to, you know, give you advice from a love point, a love standpoint. And so yes, I wanted to get more into that, and maybe some sort of spiritual healing type stuff, but I'm not really sure where I'm going with it, but I kind of have somewhat of an idea. But motorbike can also cause you to be extremely emotional, and you can have vivid dreams. Now, vivid dreams, I'm going to get back to that because that's exactly what helped to change my life. But being emotional is something else. I was driving one day and just kind of got to thinking about how blessed I was. I mean, I have really good friends, and I have a small circle, but the folks I have in my circle are good folks. And, you know, we have a good time together. They're honest folks. I mean, I can trust them. But also, you know, I have a really good husband, and my children are good kids. And, I mean, the oldest is 33, and the youngest is 17, and I have 4. But they're all good kids. I have 3 boys and a girl, and, you know, I'm blessed. That's not to say that, you know, they weren't teenagers and they haven't gone through that phase, and I didn't have some issues and all that kind of stuff. But then, for the most part, you know, they're good, loving kids. They've done well for themselves, you know. I have grandkids. So, you know, I'm just so blessed. You know, I have a decent job. I'm not a fan of my job, honestly, but my job has provided so much for me. You know, you know, we're able to travel. We're able to, you know, do some things we want to do. And, you know, so I have all those things, the basic things in my life are pretty good, and I'm blessed. I have my mother is still here, and, you know, some people can't say that, and I'm an only child, but I have a good little circle. And so I got to thinking about that driving one day, and I just got so damn emotional and started crying and shit. So I was like, what the hell is this about? And it just came up out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't initially thinking about it. It just out of nowhere. But and that's what I mean about it can cause you to be emotional. But I want to say this. I would advise anyone who is considering using MOLDAVITE to really do your research. I mean, all the videos on YouTube really help you to understand how MOLDAVITE works. And also, I would say it gives you an idea of what, you know, what to expect. But it really is a case-by-case type of thing, because MOLDAVITE is personal. I mean, you eventually build a personal relationship. It sounds crazy to say you got this little rock and you're building a relationship with it, but it's real shit. I mean, you really eventually build a relationship with the MOLDAVITE. But you can, you know, look on YouTube. I think that's a good thing to research whatever you're going to use that's eventually going to change your life. You really want to see how it's going to work. But all I'm saying is that because we're all different, MOLDAVITE won't have the same effect, and it won't do for me what it'll do for you, and vice versa. But it works on your behalf, and it works only for your good, no matter what it feels like initially. But one thing I'll say is most of the videos that I saw on YouTube were pretty consistent when it talked about MOLDAVITE being transformative, and MOLDAVITE being fast acting, and MOLDAVITE being powerful. And I mean powerful physically, and I mean powerful as what it will do in your life. The one thing that I think is important to note is that MOLDAVITE works on you from the inside out. Any, like I said before, any past trauma, any suppressed feelings or emotions will be uncovered. So get ready for the ride. It's a roller coaster ride. When I initially got the MOLDAVITE, I had done my research, and I'd watched 40 gazillion videos, and so, you know, the most common thing you heard about was the MOLDAVITE rush, and then the tingling, and the lucid and vivid dreams, and astral travel. That was some of the 4 main things I would hear about. So I wasn't really interested in the astral travel, but and not necessarily the vivid dreams, but I was more concerned about it pushing me and being more transformative in terms of me kind of going on my journey. So I was excited. I'm ready for this. And, even though I've heard that it's powerful and you got to be careful, I'm like, I'm a pretty strong chick. I can handle it. I've been through enough in my life where, a little rock ain't going ain't gonna make me trip. At least that's what I was thinking at the time. So initially I got it and I was expecting all these things. So when I first got it, opened it up and, I'm excited. Finally got it. Yay, yay, yay. And, so I did what they said. Everybody says just, hold it in your hand. You should feel like sort of a tingling or burning or something like that. And that wasn't what happened to me initially. And so I was getting a little worried. Not so much that I couldn't connect with it, but that maybe I had wasted my damn money. Because Moldavite is not really cheap. I mean, $30 is not a whole lot, but it's a lot to waste. So I was thinking I think it's 1.2 grams or something, and it was just a real small piece, but it's like $32, and then whatever the shipping was, I can't even remember what the shipping was, but this little teeny small piece here, I don't know, I don't know how to do this lighting and stuff, so I hope you can see. It's just a small piece, but it was $32. So my thing was, I hope to God I ain't waste my damn money. But so I waited and I said, well, let me just really change my mind. Just change the way I'm thinking and just relax my mind, and maybe I should just lay down and hold it and do that kind of thing. And so I did, and that's when I started really to feel it. I held it in my left hand, and my hand, I didn't get the warm sensation, but it was definitely tingling. And then I felt it go up my arm and then like all over my body. And then at one point, it actually felt like my body was kind of like trembling, and I felt it in my stomach. It's just so hard to explain. But I felt it moving all over my body, and then it got up to my head, and I think that's when I started to get a little bit scared, because in my head is where it was giving me like a headache, and it's not really like a headache, like a migraine, like that kind of headache. It was more of a pressure type thing, almost as if it was like something was kind of like pushing and pulling. I can't even explain it, but it was definitely a lot of pressure, and it stayed there the longest. But I laid there because I had heard that, the Moldavite is here to help. It's not here to hurt me. So it's not going to kill me. Just go through the process. And I did. And then, then I started, to take it to work with me. I put it in my pocket. But I noticed putting it in my pocket, it was crazy. I mean, I was at work feeling like I was high off of weed or something. I mean, I was just so, not really loopy, but just like I was floating, And it wasn't a bad feeling. It wasn't natural. And I kind of liked it, but that was okay. It's just real powerful. I mean, it was real strong, and the pressure in my head and stuff like that was kind of bad. So I stopped doing that, but I did start to sleep with it, because I'd heard that, you could sleep with it under your pillow. Some people warned against it because, you could see aliens, and it, you might go into like this astro traveling type thing. But like I said, I'm like a big girl. I'm just gonna handle it. Wherever we go, I'm with it. I'm just gonna hang on for the ride. So I So I started to sleep with it, and I started having a lot of dreams, crazy dreams. Not crazy, but vivid dreams. And a few of the dreams were about my husband, and it just kind of freaked me out. And I gotta just say this, like most people who know me and my husband, we've been together 26 years, and we're really super close. I mean, we talk about anything. We share everything, and we're close to our families, and we spend a lot of time together, and we're just close. I mean, it's like he's like my best friend, and the same thing for him. I mean, we really have a pretty good relationship. But I started having these dreams about him and another woman, some infidelity, and they were vivid dreams. The dreams didn't let me see clear faces, but I could tell that it was obvious. Um, it was obvious and it was apparent that this was my husband and this was a woman. I knew my husband and I knew what I was seeing. Of course, I didn't know who the woman was, but you know, I kept getting those dreams, different times, different, you know, different places and stuff like that. But they were, when I say vivid, they were clear. I mean, it was obvious what I was seeing was what I was seeing. You know, it wasn't like, it was pretty clear. But anyway, I started having the dreams and I was like, you know, I'm tripping, you know, let me just not feed into this. And then it was apparent to me after a while that, you know, reality set in, like, you know, I'm dealing with MOLDAVITE and I know what it's supposed to do and it's actually trying to show me something. So I need to not dismiss it and just try to pay attention.